Good morning. It is Friday morning, and I have one of the secrets of inspirational growth today. It's not the one that most people want to hear, but it is very important. So, I've spent a very long time dealing with people who want to learn to play guitar and who want to learn to sing. And there are two types of people. There are the people who avoid and the people who avoid in a different way. So really there's one type of people. So there are people who need to learn something before they can move forward. They feel uncomfortable, so they need to take another class. They need to buy another book. And I understand that because I have an entire library of books that I have not read. What I would do is I would come up against a musical problem that needed solving, and I would look up a good book that people had recommended that indicated that it solved that particular problem. Now, just like many other of the other pieces of advice I've given you over the years, you can get that and you can read how someone else solved a problem, and that may give you the answer. In fact, it is critical. My greatest period of growth and the way that I got the direction that I am going on now was I found a master mentor who mentored me both in music and business, and I spent many years under the tutelage of that master. Then I got to a point where it was time for me to go out on my own, which was frightening. And to go out on my own, I have to craft my own way. There is a point where you're a student, and then there is a time when you need to clear a path that is your own. And that involves some scary thoughts. You need to clear your own path. So the first thing I did is I avoided becoming a student because, I don't want to learn the same way that everybody else did. I need to hurry. I need to find a shortcut. What if this isn't the right guy? And I avoided that for a couple of years. I went with other people that were flashier, that were more interesting, and it just held me back. And I did not just stick with that one person. When I went with that initial instructor, I also sought out the advice in short term of other people. And I did another route. I took and got a traditional education in music, which was different than the level of mastery. It was a level of understanding in an entirely different way. It was extremely enlightening. But what it was is there was this thought that I had for a long time. I just need another book and I need another class. And that's good up to a point. But then you have to start thinking for yourself. Up until that point, you need guidance. And you will know when that break point comes. So there is that point of avoidance. And then there is a second point of avoidance, which is more common, but still, just as limiting. It is the people that I deal with that say, I really don't want to learn that because it looks frightening. It is scales. It is music theory. It is memorization of certain concepts. And it is, you cannot progress. The shortest path to progressing the way that you want is to just do that. Let's spend a few weeks or a couple of months doing that, and then you never have to do it again. And yet, we as humans will spend years avoiding something, and searching for another route so that we don't have to we'll waste years trying to save a couple of minutes of something uncomfortable. And I personally have experienced both of these, and they are limiting. So you need to find a method of embracing change and differences. So the biggest thing that holds you back, so I'll give you just one concrete example, is that you can't focus on just what you want to do, what you like. That is the most limiting factor. I have people that say, I want to play classic rock, and they focus on learning songs in the classic rock genre, and they get trapped in a box and they don't have what they want. Or people that want to play acoustic songs and play campfire songwriter music, and they're trapped in the same box. Or people that want to become shredders and they get trapped in that box. So is this beginning to sound familiar? It is. You need to learn things outside of your comfort zone, outside of your likes, and that is the fastest method to mastering the things that you do like. And it's different for each person. Each journey is individualized because each person brings different set of circumstances to the table. And that's what's so wonderful about the puzzle, is putting that all together and getting somebody the musical skill set that they love. And finding that is a wonderful thing. So I'm going to give you a few quotes, and then I'm going to get to work crafting my own path further. All right. So Yo-Yo Ma, who no one would argue that is a gentleman who has crafted a musical path. He says, you just can't play the notes you like. The music demands all of you, which is, if you really want to get to a high level, you have to devote yourself to that. Next is Herbie Hancock, who is a famous jazz musician. If you only stick to what you love, you'll never grow. Mastery comes from embracing the entire language of music, not just your favorite phrases. And that's Pat Metheny. The next is Victor Wooten, the great the great bassist. To be great, you must study what challenges you, not just what comforts you. So again, you can't spend time just going over the songs that you know. And Wynton Marsalis, certainly a great musician. The music you avoid might be the lesson you need. John Williams, every genre, every piece is a chapter in the book of mastery. And growth happens when you step out of your comfort zone and into unfamiliar sounds. That's Esperanza Spalding. So remember that. And that goes back to the Stoic phrase that the obstacle is the way. So that doesn't mean you don't do things that you don't love, but it is, you have a certain number of skill sets and lessons that you need to learn on your way to mastery. And most of the time, our base impulse as humans is to try and avoid those as long as possible. So let's stop avoiding that, get over them, and get to the other side of the path, and confront those obstacles and find that they're really not the obstacles that we think they are. They're a lot easier once you start them. All right, I will see you mañana.